Anyway,
Yeah.
the Game and Watch set you also have here. So let's copy link,
That
paste
one's a
that.
little embarrassing.
Okay,
But you
3 minute game,
you could
not
look
bad.
over it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like the turnaround. I'm assuming again, it's just like online, hard to hit the combos right. You were trying to do drag down into up
Yeah.
tilt, right? Okay,
Yeah.
as long as the intent is there. I think that online at least intent is way more important than execution. That was kind of nuts. He is asserting a little bit of dominance with that like single parry into up B out of shield. I think it's like pretty ridiculous how much better Game and Watch's up B out of shield is than like every other out of shield option in the game. And I also want to say that like I am not a Game and Watch fighting expert. Um, So I think that my analysis will be quite a bit less in depth than the snake one. So just so you're aware of that.
Okay. That's
That
fair.
was nice how you actually like made him stutter from the jolt clanking with his back air landing leg. I actually didn't know that that interaction happened like that, but yeah, it worked out. I think that at the percent that he's at, you totally should have still done down throw because at the very least, I think that if he DIs in, you can get like up air forward air, and if he DIs out, you should be able to get weak hit up air, fast fall, double jump, weak hit up air into forward air. So again, it's
Dang,
like
I'm on. Okay. Nice.
yeah, it's combo stuff, and it does quite a bit more damage. Or sorry, Game Watch is a character that you really need to make sure that you get like all the damage you can get in every single opening because he is so light that like if you had done the up air, forward air thing, he would have been at like 70 here, and at 70 he already dies to like sweet spot at ledge. So or sweet spot F smash at ledge. So getting as much damage as possible is really helpful. Good. Forward throw, definitely the correct play there because that little bit extra percent and the rage on you means down throw probably wouldn't combo anymore. Unless you were going for like cheese thunders. I'm glad that you know that you can just like throw a hitbox out at his bomb and it deals with it nicely. But one thing to be very careful of is if they're just only doing bombs, then yeah, sure, just like keep faring through their bombs. But as soon as they start turning around and doing backers instead, you're gonna have a really bad time if you try to challenge them air to air.
Yeah.
Um, I think this is probably like yeah, okay. You started jumping like before you actually could have seen his down smash. I think that like if they land that far away from you, like see he's doing a fade back forward air. I think that when you see him be this far away, that's a pretty good sign to do a neutral get up. I also want to say as a disclaimer that I value neutral get up better than it actually is. So like take that with a grain of salt. But and obviously I'm like cheating because I have 20/20 vision because I'm looking at this replay in retrospect. But I definitely would have done a neutral get up there just because of how far he is away after he does that fade back fair. Um,
hmm
it's not super bad. And you still ended up getting like a decent situation out of it, except that you died. But that's okay. So what went wrong here? He did the funny air dodge into tech thing, which is okay. Um, and what did you go for? Oh, you did a spot dodge, yeah. So if they do an option like tech that isn't like it's not easy to punish, but it doesn't make you vulnerable first, right? Like I think that if you had like insane reaction time and this wasn't offline, you probably could have punished that with like turnaround dash attack. But again, if it had been something that like he recovers from first, then the spot dodge is fine. But because he already like gets out of lag after you, there's no reason to spot dodge there.
hmm
Um, yeah. So unfortunate. Uh, that's I hate that mix up where they just like air dodge kind of low to the ground, so you're not actually gonna jump at them, and it's Wi-Fi. So how do you actually react to that?
Yeah.
I don't like it, but what can you do? You basically went for the 50-50 that he would air dodge the other way. Never landing aerial Game and Watch's shield with any of Pikachu's aerials. He does not have anything that doesn't get killed by up B. I'm sure you know that though, so or at least you
Yeah.
know that having watched this replay before.
Yeah.
Um, Chef. Yeah, chef's kind of annoying. I understand the sentiment of thinking like, oh, it's a punishable move. I should do nair drag down into like I'm assuming it was gonna be down smash, which is totally reasonable, but I don't know. It has less. All of Mr. Game and Watch's moves just have like stupid animations that you can't actually tell when they're over. So unless you know them like the back of your hand, I would say take the safe like dash attack there. Honestly, even dash attack might be kind of dicey because he could just shield it and then he'd probably I don't know down airs you out of shield or not down air, probably nair out of shield and still hit. That oh my god, this guy is just like grabbing your back airs, parrying your back airs. And that is a fairly BM combo to go for, but it's not a bad idea when he's up a stock. I'm assuming that he tried to parry that and up B again, but he missed up the parry, so that's fine. Like, okay, that was really good spacing on the fair. That's exactly what you want, and the down tilt follow-up is exactly what you want as well. I don't know about the F smash to follow up. It can totally work. I sometimes just kind of play the waiting game, but again, I also play low risk, low reward. Ooh, he called out that. Yeah. Yeah, he called that
Wow.
spot dodge out really bad. So that's the second spot dodge that you've actually died for. Um, I'm assuming. Oh wait, okay. I was gonna say I assume you die, but I guess not. Um, which is fine. Really like that quick attack angle, actually. That was very nice. You made it right under the bacons. I like what you were going for with the second quick attack as well. But again, no one knows the lag on Mr. Game & Watch's moves except for Game & Watch mains. So dash attack was really nice. I think that he actually literally saw it coming and just thought that his up smash was faster. But it didn't turn out to be, so you're in a very good spot now. And yeah. So where did this one go wrong? If you are going to do that, like aerial off stage into quick attack again, what I think actually works here is either drift out farther so that you're like vulnerable for less time, or do like the slight up, like the mostly up one, but also slight diagonal one, and then go straight down afterwards. So you can like grab ledge from here or land on stage kind of ambiguously. Um, Again, he has big, stupid hammer hitboxes, so like if you go anywhere near him, especially when he has invincibility, it's just gonna be a bad time. Nair drag down.
Yeah,
Out of
because this was
curiosity,
online.
this one was also online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you remember how the connection was?
It was fine.
Okay, so this is a great example of the combo that I was kind of talking about earlier. So, what do you go for? Okay, so you did a falling up air. Against floaties like Game & Watch, what you want to do after the first up air is fast fall and then do double jump forward air and still get the same hitbox. So it would look exactly like this, except instead of being falling with it, you would be rising with it, and then it combos into the forward air. But instead, again, like, that's just a matter of knowing your combos. Like,
Yeah, that was a. Don't
panic.
look at that.
Yeah, okay, I won't say too much, but um, if you do something unintentional and silly like that, I think that the option here is, yeah, never mind. There was nothing he could have done there. He was being smart about it and not trying to get a super hard punish. He just like, ugh. Yeah.
Right there is like when I just gave up.
I was gonna say, like, it's fairly clear that you had like mentally checked out of the match at that point, so not like I can't even give you too much crap for it because I do the exact same thing, but gotta understand that like Ultimate is a game of bullshit, and you can always like make a comeback when you actually. I don't know. Comebacks exist way more than people like to say that they do. So never give up, never lose hope. You can cheese them harder than they cheese you. Blah blah blah. Especially Game Watch, he's super light. Even though, sorry, did I just mute myself out of nowhere?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I don't know how far I'd gotten before I. Oh, I
I
think
heard even though, and then
even though
like
he feels like he can be like impossible to approach sometimes, just remember that like one of the things that makes Game Watch so frustrating is just his animations are unintuitive. Like to you, it looks like everything is lagless because he goes from like the pose of the hit to neutral. And the lag is obviously there, but it just doesn't look like it. So it's so deceptive. And Game and Watch mains, that is their entire MO. They just take advantage of deceptive end lag and make you think that you can hit them when you can't, and make them think that you can't hit them when you can. So it is a matchup that you actually really need to learn exactly how punishable things are. And you also need to not touch his shield. Those are pretty much the two things. His neutral is not actually as good as you might think. Like, Nair is kind of dumb, and up B is super dumb, and his aerials are like really annoying, but he doesn't have a really great way to force his way in. And if you just stand still, like literally stand still, don't even Thunderjolt or anything, Game and Watches, they often just do really stupid approaches like dash attack or something like really unsafe, or they'll do like a falling bear into your shield or something. Like, there's a lot that you can abuse with him when you make him push the first button. It's when you try to, like, I don't know, punish stuff that isn't punishable, or just try to like jump at him, that's when they really thrive. Because if you're the one who like jumps at them and they're just shielding, you get upbeat like every single time. If you try to punish something that's not actually punishable, then they can, like, I don't know, spot dodge down smash or shield up B. There's a lot of ways that they can take advantage of you pushing buttons, but when you wait for them, and most importantly combined with like knowing Game and Watch's end lag and stuff, it really makes the matchup a lot harder for them, having to deal with someone who's playing very reactive. But also, that's another reason why I think that Game & Watch is particularly good online, because the way to fight Game & Watch most effectively is to play reactive, and reactive play is just worse online. So if everyone's like, if you're wondering why like certain characters do way better online and certain ones don't, it's because the characters that you need to play reactive against are just the ones that are hard buffed online.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's mostly Game and Watch and Rob, and that's why they both do really well online. Oh, and Ness, absolutely Ness as well.
And Sonic and
Sonic is a slightly different case, but yeah, similar.
because I also have a Sonic problem, unfortunately.
I must say, I really don't play online like ever. I was playing offline quite a bit recently until I broke my wrist, and now I am not, um, obviously. But yeah. Sorry. I can't really help too much with like online specific stuff other than general theory craft of why online is better or worse. So that one you might just kind of have to either trial and error it out, or just say, you know what, screw it. Online Sonic can be online Sonic. I don't care. I care more about offline.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And how is COVID in your area anyway? Because it was great where I'm living until like a month ago when we started just doing terrible, and now we're like exponentially spiking.
Um, in the Bay Area, it's pretty much like they're treating it like it's normal, but you have to
Ah.
have a mask because malls are open now, indoor
Mm.
dining is open,
Are you allowed
all the
to
home.
like go to someone's house and play video games with them? Cause
If
that's
both people agree, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
cause
I haven't tried that
that's
out.
that's what I was getting the majority of my practice with. I would just like go over to a friend's house and play Smash with them for some number of hours. Uh, I think that it was just today that the government said, "Hey, you should limit home gatherings to only 6 people, like ever," as in like the same rotating 6 people. So yeah, it's unfortunate that we're living in a time right now where Wi-Fi is the only way to do things. But again, there's still absolutely ways to improve. Like pretty much every single tip that I gave you today, especially against Snake, less so against Game and Watch, is stuff that is way more applicable offline than it is online. So if you don't immediately notice that you're doing way better against Snakes online, don't worry about it too much, because I think, and I am assuming this is not a very hotly contested opinion, that Pikachu is a lot better offline, and especially the way that you're trying to play, which is very reactive. Except against the Game Watch, it didn't look like you were trying that hard to be reactive, but don't worry, we can work on that. Reactive play much better offline. So if you keep at it and keep like playing disciplined and very analytical, which is, I'm trying to describe the way that I love playing, and I think that's the way that you love playing too. At least I hope I'm not projecting too much. If you keep going at that, then hopefully, even if you don't notice a big spike like right now, you'll notice that you do a lot better once offline returns, especially if you've actually been like disciplined and trying to treat it like it's offline practice. as opposed to everyone else who's just spamming Rob and Game & Watch and trying to cheese as many wins as they can online.
Yeah, I've been trying my best. I do like to lab a bit. Um, but then I think it's like also mentality that kind of gets to
Yep.
me in tournament.
Oh, dude, winning
Um,
feels so much better, and then you just like abandon all of your morals and fundamentals, and you're just like, oh, I just gotta push the Wi-Fi buttons and get the W's. So like, don't feel bad about it. It happens to everyone. Just like whenever you have a moment of thoughtful reflection, make sure that you keep your goals in mind and don't just play frustrated and try to let your lizard brain guide you. Make sure that you try to like approach this as rational as possible and be like, okay, this is practice. This isn't me just trying to mash nair and beat out bad options afterwards. Anyway,
right.
sorry, I got like super rambly and tangential there, but I think
No, it's
that's
okay.
yeah, it's probably a good place for me to cut the